Guys, welcome back. Let's continue with the next part. Guys, yesterday we have discussed some very core or very, I can say, the important concept in the AWS cloud. Okay, and that is a very core, you know, requirement for any of the application, right? Because if you want to deploy any real application on the cloud, that's what we want a cloud to be used. So almost in all the application, I can say these guys are uses behind the scene data layer. Okay, when I said data layer, I mean to say databases. Now it will be your choice. You want to use it will be your choice. Do you want to use one minute? You want to use MySQL or Oracle or XYZ, right? that would be that would be our choice, right? But yesterday I explained you, if you have any requirement and if you want to launch your application on the AWS cloud, and if you think in this way, right, business has their nowadays, even right, business is entirely working because of the website or web apps. Okay, and if their focus area is more more toward the sales and the marketing, that they don't want to invest much in their IT infrastructure in the terms of some technical guys hiring or managing their data center, something like this. So what they do, they can go to cloud like AWS and say my application need databases. Okay, so I would like to give you AWS, right, or AWS cloud. I would like to give you the entire uh, I can say outsource my entire management of my database. So from installing the database, providing the RAM, CPU, hard disk, resources, maintenance of the database, and plus also manage the high availability of my database, plus also manage the read replicas of my database. So technically, that's what we had discussed yesterday. Okay, so even though if you see in this scenario, right, half of the scenario, right, if you see in the left side, this application may be managed by you guys on in your premises, or maybe in the AWS cloud in EC2 instances. Okay, but this particular part of this entire application, we can hand over to AWS guys or maybe any other cloud guys, and they are managing our data layer or databases. Okay, plus there would be some more thing come up in the future. We can also hand over this part also to the AWS guys. So there's some services we will discuss in the future classes where AWS will manage the application part also, right? So again, one more powerful service. I come into the category of platform as a service. What is platform as a service? We will discuss in my future classes. But yesterday, what we did, we discussed about one of the program or the product from the AWS or service from the AWS called RDS, and the responsibility of the RDS service is to manage the entire database. Okay, and one of the interesting thing we have seen about the RDS is we just go to AWS and say, AWS, I am looking for some kind of disaster recovery kind of setup. Can you help me to set up multi-AZ? So guys, yesterday I explained you, right, how to set up the multi-AG setup. So one of the database I asked them to launch in 1A, or one of the database I asked them to launch in 1B data center. Okay, so there's 1A or running in the 1B AZ. So behind the scene, guys, they configure this thing for you. Now it is not important we are using MySQL or the Oracle, right? So their engineers has created some automation script for us, and the engineers has done this setup for us. Okay, but one more, guys, practical we did yesterday. Maybe there might be requirement. Maybe there might be requirement, and let's say in the Mumbai in the Mumbai region, Okay, in one of the data center, we launch our main instance that's called master instance, or I can say the active active database server. Okay, and because of the high availability, I launch one more system that is called standby. Okay, so if one of the active goes down, automatic standby will took over, right? It's called a failover. But there's a certain requirement, and I explained you guys yesterday the use cases where I don't want my some other application, right? Maybe for my reporting team, my BI team, my analytics team, they keep on hitting my main active server, and to impact their speed and performance, what we did, we launched some more few computers. Okay, and we ask my active computer just keep on copying or keep on syncing your databases with these instances. And now it will be your choice, these instances will be running in Mumbai or we are running in any other region. So yesterday guys, we did cross region, right, copy of this. And because these instances would be again the exact copy of my active system. Okay, so I can say this is the exact replica, but this replica guys we use only for a read purpose, right? So we use the term called read replica, and yesterday guys we use a cross region read replica setup and was work very fine. And I just want to quickly show you that demonstration to you, even though I already explained to you about the read replica, but very quickly, I launched a read replica yesterday. Okay, and it was successfully created. So from the Mumbai data center, I created one read replica in Singapore. This is called cross region read replica. And the interesting thing is the use case of the replica I explained to you. Okay, so if you have any uh, analytics tool or maybe any other tool, or maybe your company has some developers, or your company has some testing guys, and they want to have some copy of your production data. Technically we shouldn't provide, but there's some mechanism available from some tool through which we can randomize our data. Okay, but technically, right, I want my internal team will have a copy of the production with these guys, or maybe BI or reporting guys, so they won't hit directly to the active server, active, or I can say the production system. Or so my actual client from the internet, they won't see any kind of performance issue. Okay, so there we guys create a read replica. So this concept guys I already explained you somehow. This kind of setup we talked yesterday, and some of the practical I show you also, right? So in my setup guys, if you see, okay, if you see in Mumbai. And guys, by the way, today's main topic is in agenda for today is auto scaling group. So just I want to show you again, and I want to quickly revise what we did yesterday. Okay, but today main topic is auto scaling group. So this topic is more and somehow very much the continuation of a load balancer, ELB. Okay, so it's a different topic altogether, but it would be normally in after the continuation of elastic load balancer. We normally discuss this part. So you can think for the auto scaling group, the prerequisite is ELB, and ELB guys we already discussed in detail. So there's a main plan for today. And while discussing auto scaling group, I will also touch some of the part of CloudWatch. Okay, so CloudWatch also guys we will somehow touch some of the part basic of CloudWatch. So this is the main plan for today, but I just want to show you one small, very small demonstration of a read replica. And for this, the way I did yesterday, I'm launching my local machine. So for my local system, I make myself as a client for database. So what do you see here? Okay, yesterday guys in the Mumbai we launched this database instance, or I can say database server, from the MySQL or maybe from the Oracle. Okay, and if you see, this database has a role called primary. Primary means this is my active computer. So you can give the IP address or the URL or the endpoint of this computer. Let me use the word called A, computer A, to your internet client. And obviously, guys, you don't directly provide. You technically provide them or expose them or provide the URL of your application, and your application will go and connect to database. You guys know this part. We again discussed yesterday. Okay, so this is role is primary, but from this primary, yesterday, guys, we had created a read replica, read replica, and this read replica, guys, we created in the cross region. So if I go to Singapore, I think Singapore region we had created. So if you reach to Singapore in your account, okay. By the meantime, let me also log into my instance. One minute, guys. Okay, so if you see, guys, in the Singapore region, you can see there's one more instance come up, and guys, we haven't installed this instance yesterday, but it come from the role called replica. Okay, so we because we create a replica of my active system, so so they launch, let's say, one computer could be here in the Singapore region. Okay, and because it is a replica, it means whatever data we feed yesterday here, same data you will see over here. But it is a different computer, so it is but obvious this computer will have a different IP address and the different endpoint. So what we will do, to our analytics guys or BI tools or other teams, right, we will we will provide their endpoint, and they will hit directly to the replica system rather than they hitting to the main active computer. Okay, so if you see here, the URL of this endpoint of this guy is very different. Otherwise, the login and password, everything is the same. So let me very quickly show you this demo. Okay, so if I use my computer, let me use putty, so I can copy paste my URL from my Windows. One minute, please. So this is my system running in my laptop. Okay, one minute, please. Okay, and from this system, what I'm doing here, okay, let me open one more terminal. Okay, there's two command terminal I open. Okay, and in one of my terminal, I'll go to Mumbai, and this is the instance, guys, we used launched yesterday. Okay, and let me pick the URL of this instance, and I use again MySQL -h. My host name is this one -p. Sorry, -u. My user was Vimal, and I'm putting my password here. I don't have a MySQL command in my computer, so you can guys use yum install command to install the MySQL software. So right now I'm using Red Hat, so I'm using yum command to install MySQL software. One minute. So one minute, I'm just waiting. Okay, so if you hit enter and give the password whatever you set yesterday, and you log in. So right now this is the instance, guys, if you see, is coming from Mumbai. And we did yesterday, we log in to this instance. Okay, and yesterday, guys, if you remember, we had created one database. Inside the database we had created one table. Okay, So by the meantime, also I'm doing one more thing here. There's one more terminal I have. I'm logging with my SQL command with okay, guys, this guy is stuck here. Okay, stuck here. There might be possibility of the firewall because I'm logging to this guy from my laptop, and today my IP might change. What is my IP is actually changed, and yesterday, guys, we had created a firewall, right? So, and yesterday, these guys automatically update my security group for my yesterday's laptop IP. Okay, so this might be the reason they stuck. So you see, guys, in the inbound rule, this is the yesterday IP of mine, right? So what I'm doing here, nothing special to make it, you know, properly run. Let me allow all the guys. Okay, so anybody in the world can connect this. Obviously, if they know my login and password. So this might be one of the reason. Same thing I'm doing in my Singapore also. So because of the security group, we won't find any challenge. Okay, so I'm again allowing anywhere. Okay, otherwise about security group, you know, lots of concepts about as okay. So this might be challenge. Why? Yeah, now they're connected. So I have connected to Mumbai, and if you guys remember yesterday, we had created one databases which is called MyDB. If you go inside this database, use my database, and if you see so tables, so this table, guys, we had created yesterday. Okay, but we created in the Mumbai, but now I'm moving to Singapore. Okay, I'm connecting to Singapore instance, and IP of Singapore system is this one. So this is the IP of the Singapore system endpoint. Again, if you see, guys, I'm putting the username Vimal, password. I'm giving my password. And guys, if you notice here, login and password is exactly the same what I created in my Mumbai. Same thing is happening in the Singapore. This is the region ID of the Singapore. And if you see here, these guys will also have a same database. And if you again go inside this database, all right, and again see the show tables, you'll find exact same table come. Okay, but yesterday, guys, if you remember, if you remember, let me little bit change the nothing special here. I don't know. Okay, let's forget. So so guys, this is Mumbai, and what I'm doing, guys, right now in my table, this is a table we had created. You can describe your table. So yesterday, guys, in this table we created 3 fields. Okay, so what I'm doing here in this table, I'm inserting some data, inserting into LWST table. This table we are inserting some values. Okay, and in the first field I'm putting one, and second field I'm putting my name Vimal, and third field I'm putting okay. Okay, and guys, this is the Mumbai database. Okay, and this database updated. You can use select command to view the data inside the table. And those who know SQL or MySQL, these are the very basic command we use in the SQL or the MySQL. But those guys who don't know, by chance, don't worry. In some of my online classes, I will give you explanation from very zero, right? But select start from your table name is a way to see what data you have. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here is I have copy some data in my Mumbai table. Either you copy or your PHP application copy, Python application copy. Somebody copy where in your in your active or primary computer. But this active primary computer, guys, is actually connected to cross region read replica. One of the computer is B here in the Singapore. So let's see what happened in the Singapore. So this is the Mumbai, and this is the computer of Singapore. Okay, now if I see select star from LWST and get this is the computer of the Singapore, and you can see an exact same copy come up. Okay, and we haven't touched anything here. Exact same copy come in the Singapore region. Okay, so this word guys how there's a meaning of replica. Replica means whatever copy you create here, same time they will create a copy over here. Okay, same time means if I hit enter one more time and if I put one more data here, one Vimal 123, okay 123, as soon as I copy Mumbai and I go to Singapore, this will come up. Okay, and guys, there's a difference between replica and the backup. Backup we always create in interval after 1 hour, after 2 days, after 1 week. So snapshots we always come create in some interval. So what a data you copy here, if you create a backup after 2 hours you create a backup. If your instance goes down or instance terminated, or the whatever data you had in last 1 hour 2 hour, it will be lost. Okay, but in the replication whatever data you put here at the same time, it will be copied in your replica. So by chance guys, in this database we are creating both replica also and backup also. Okay, and but why we creating a replica, the one of the main reason of replica is to improving the performance in my primary computer. So exact this copy of my of my databases we are providing to my other team so they can use this data to do some analytics on the top of this or maybe any other use cases. Okay, so this is Mumbai and this is Singapore. And one more thing I just want to show you here is if I try to insert some data in the Singapore, okay, in my read replica. So let me insert some data in the read replica. What happened? Okay, guys, they won't allow you. Okay, even though they give you the error, it's called read only. Okay, so because your role in the Singapore is, if you see here, your role is a replica, and this is a read replica. Okay, it means it means you are not allowed to edit anything. And guys, it is but obvious, right? So it is good practice or it's but obvious if we are providing some copy of my production system to my other analytics team. I don't want they will go and change something. They want only data. Just go and read it, right? And using the tool to analyze. Why you want to change? Okay, that is the reason, guys, to call read, or I can say read only replica. You're not allowed to change. Whatever data come from production, that's we are syncing from that guy. Just you can use this replica system to analyze this data. So you're not allowed to change from here. Only the guy who has a role, role um, called master role, or I can say primary role. Only that guy can change the thing. Okay, this is one thing. One more thing I can, so guys, I wanted to update you. Okay, here. So if you see in the read replica, right now, guys, this replica is getting data. I can say the source of this replica is is only your primary computer. Okay, but if you want to make this replica computer as a stand-alone computer, now you don't want this replica computer will get the data from primary. They will have their own personal server, so anybody can use this replica system, and they won't edit or update. Okay, so if you have, these are the use case if you have. So in the replica computer, over here in this replica computer, okay, there's option called promote. So I can promote, guys, this replica. I understand one thing, guys, replica you can't again create one more replica for this. Okay, so there's no option to read replica. Okay, so we can't create a replica of replica. But if you go to your your primary computer and you try to see here, you can create more replicas. So multiple read replica you can create from one primary. Okay, why multiple? I can provide to multiple teams. Every all the replica will sync in parallel. Okay, and so if you promote this guy, okay, So there's some backup or other things. Let me continue. Okay, so they say if you promote read replica, you won't able to reverse whatever you're doing. So I say that's okay. And we are promoting this guy to the individual entity. Okay, so the process is going on. Okay, now they say they are available. So this is Mumbai, and this is uh, I think they might take some time. Super more. So technically, they after some time we'll just try to connect this guy, and they will have their own personal identity. You can go and connect, okay, and um, you can use this guy as an individual guy. Okay, so guys, this is what yeah they are doing here. So replication, they are primary replica. They are replicating. So it takes some time, maybe I believe. So you will after some time you'll see they will provide you one URL. URL might change, and that is a independent copy of this guy. Okay, so this is the meaning of promoting here. Okay, so okay, this is about database. There's some more discussion of the database, right? There's one more database here that's called Aurora. So we will do some discussion on Aurora. Even though there's a lot of databases here, okay. So every database a different product. You don't have to worry about how they configure. You just have to go and launch this guy and use this. Okay, but Aurora is a very specialized database that is being spawned and created by AWS guys. So you should know some extra benefit what Aurora will provide you. Technically, again, same logic. Just click. They will provide high availability read replica, but they give you some extra facilities. So maybe guys, I'm not discussing databases continue, right? But we have some quick discussion on Aurora, I can say, in the upcoming classes. But otherwise, if you want to check, it is the same, right? The way you install set up MySQL, everything is so most of the things is almost the same, and one click it will launch for you, and you can use also. Okay, but there's some extra benefit facilities they provide you, we will see. Okay, um, so this is guys very high level about the database. So read replica, cross region, high availability, everything we discuss, and I'll show you the practical demonstration of this guy also. Okay, so let's continue with the today's main topic. Today main topic is auto scaling group. So let's continue with or let's start with the auto scaling group. Okay, so what is auto scaling group? Okay, so for these guys, let me give one vocabulary here before I explain you what is auto scaling group. Okay, so the vocabulary is for example, for example, if you have if you launch one instance, okay, let's say from EC2 service. So Amazon is the one who provide a resources to you. They are the one who provide RAM to you. They are the one who provide CPU to you. You are using the network of these guys, or hard disk storage of these guys, or some other physical storage you guys are using. Okay, so technically because they provide their physical resources to you. Okay, so and on the top of this you use the AMI and launch the one instance and the operating system there. Okay, so Amazon guys has one program, and what this program is doing, this program they are running in their data centers. And what this program is doing, this program is keep on monitoring the usage of RAM, means memory, CPU, network, hard disk, and plus other things. So they keep on monitoring every minute, every 5 minutes, right? What is the total CPU your operating system use, the total RAM you consume this point in time, total number of package transfer connection connected to your instances, the total storage used or free, something like that. So this program is keep on monitoring the usage of your storage. And technically guys, if any program who is who is monitoring your resources. For example, total CPU used as free, or maybe network in or out, or something like this. So this concept is known as metrics. Okay, so I can say total CPU utilization is one of my metrics. Total package go connection we have is one of the metrics. So multiple different metrics this program monitor. So this is one kind of monitoring program. They keep on monitoring your resources. So technically this program know this point in time, for example, this OS we are running with web server, or some application or PHP running here. Okay, so this is the one of the program from AWS. They know they know about the metrics of your current operating system. And obviously the operating system is running with the application. So mostly this program is the one who are consuming CPU and the RAM. And it's but obvious, if more and more client from the internet hit to the server, more and more network traffic come in and out, more and more RAM or CPU gonna consume. So this program come to know your CPU you can go about 70%, 80%, this much bandwidth of network you are using. So this program is guys keep on monitoring. Okay, what they're monitoring? They are monitoring the metrics. Okay, metrics. But there's one more term we will discuss in the upcoming discussion, right? Anybody who by chance know, whenever you hit to any of the server, like a web server or LDAP server or mail server, the server also guys create some information, who connected, from what time, from which IP they connected from, which page they connected, right? So these are that are known as logs. So log is a different thing, guys. So metric is a different concept. Log is a different concept. So today I'm not discussing about the logs, but in my upcoming classes, I will also talk about the log that is normally created by your particular server, for example, Apache web server here. Okay, but today my small discussion would be on the metrics. So so there's a lot of program also available in the market as a third party program that has a capability that keep on monitoring your operating system, right, and keep on checking what is going on, right. Technically they keep on monitoring the metrics of the computer. Okay, so if you talk about the AWS, so this is a very common program, and almost this program is integrated with other programs. So EC2 is one of the program, right. So so technically the name of this program that has a capability to monitor the metrics is called CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is very guys core service or core program, or I can use the word service here, that has a capability to monitor the metrics of EC2 instances. That has the capability to monitor the metrics of ELB. That has the capability to monitor the metrics of RDS. So CloudWatch is an independent, or I can say that different service, but that has a tightly internal uh, integrated integration with any other service. So maybe guys till date, whatever service you have seen, mostly you will see this word called CloudWatch. Okay, even though if you go to RDS also, if you click here in RDS, you can see this OS is using around 2% CPU, one active connection we have. Why one active? Because from my laptop I have connected. So all this information guys is coming from somehow coming from CloudWatch. Even though if you click on the monitoring, okay, you can see this kind of graph come up. Okay, so suddenly we one guy connected at this point in time. This is called database connection. One guy connected here. Okay, or total memory use, storage use, the total CPU. Suddenly we have a spike in the CPU because I connected and I did something here, maybe insert some data or read some data. So you can see the these graph. Okay, read IOPS, right? Write IOPS means the speed. IOPS, what is IOPS? We will discuss, right? But you can think it's like a something we write or read from the hard disk. Okay, so all this information, guys, automatic come in your RDS portal. But who is providing? So RDS behind the scene is asking to a service called CloudWatch. And CloudWatch, guys, is retrieving this information, monitoring this information, right, and providing to you. And by default, guys, they are monitoring this information for last 4 hours, sorry, last 1 hour. But you can change. You just want to see last 3 hour activity, so they will create a last 3 hour activity of Singapore. Okay, so you can change this time. Okay, so this service is free. So if you use RDS, they will provide this service free. Okay, whatever the free they are offering. What they're offering here, they say I will only monitor, give you information for last hourly basis. But if you want to monitor last 5 minute, right, or last 2 minute or 1 minute, or you want to do something else, so maybe that might come with some extra price, depend upon service to service. Okay, so that's what that we will discuss in detail when I exclusively take this topic called CloudWatch. Okay, but why I'm giving this term today, because in the today auto scaling topic, this term gonna repeat again and again. Okay, similarly, if you directly go to services, there's an individual tab for CloudWatch. So in the management part, if you see, there's a tab called CloudWatch. Okay, and understand one thing, CloudWatch, one of the duty of the CloudWatch service is to monitoring the metrics. Okay, but they have a lot of capabilities. They have a monitor for events, they have monitor for logs, and lots of other things they can do for you. Okay, so when I exclusively take this topic CloudWatch, I will explain you a lot about CloudWatch. Okay, so if you guys, this is a CloudWatch page, and if you see here, they have a concept called alarms, logs, metrics, event, lots of things, server lenses, content insights, okay, synthetics, right? So a lot of the new features also they come up with. We'll talk, guys, almost all the feature in my upcoming classes. X-rays, okay. So here I was talking about metrics. Okay, so if you see, guys, I am in the Mumbai. Okay, one interesting thing the CloudWatch say, in the Mumbai region till date, the main services you used or you're using right now is these four services. Okay, so what I did, so from the service called EC2, or maybe this much of ALB network, RDS or users also. So these are the top services you use till date. And let's talk about EC2 instances. So in the EC2 instances, I have a capability of monitoring 119 metrics. Okay, 119 metrics. Okay, and these are total metrics. Metrics means, so in the issue instance, I can monitor the RAM, CPU, network, in, out, like this. 119 different metrics I had monitor in your Mumbai region, in your instances, and it is per instance basis. Okay, if you click here, so these are the instance you launched till date. Till date. So if you just talk about chat OS one, this is one of the OS somewhere we might launch. So here I had monitor the packet number of packet come in, packet go out, CPU utilization, network in, network out, total disk you read, write, right? Tons of operations, guys, they are monitoring, and this is very much useful uh, metrics names. Okay, because by having this, we can we can take a lot of decision in the terms of some kind of automation in the cloud world. And not in the cloud world also, even you can use this information to plan something automated infrastructure, right? What I mean by this, I'll discuss today. Okay, so they show you guys these metrics. You click here. Okay, and here they automatically create a graph for you. Okay, so for example, click here, I don't see much, because they are showing you graph for last 3 hours. So in the last 3 hours, we don't have any CPU utilization in this OS, so they doesn't show you any graph. But if I go for 1 week, maybe, obviously I don't access this guy from last 1 week, so last some month. So we can see, so there's some spike in this date. This is the 27th of 12 means 27th of December last month, I used this instance, and total packet does come in this instance is 29, and total 0.33% CPU this instance utilized. So they automatically guys create this graph for you, for us. Okay, or any other things you want to do, for example, how much did disk they read or they write. So you can see here they give you this information. So by that point in time they doesn't read any disk or doesn't write anything in the disk. Okay, so likewise there's a lot of metrics they give you. Okay, uh, per service basis. So you want to see the ELB, EBS, RDS, network ELB, and other some other extra metrics they have. Okay, very quickly, if you just go for ELB also. Okay, so they give you metrics per ELB or target group also. Okay, so if you go to target group, so guys, two target group we created, if you remember. One of the target group name called LW chat, and one of the target group called LW search. Okay, so they maintain the metrics of request count per target. So in this target group, how many requests come up? Okay, so if you click here, add to search, or add to graph. So that what this they're talking about. So by chance, in this point in time, okay, they had a zero request come up, but maybe last week, I don't know which time we used this guy. So maybe some dot you can, because there's not much data, but somewhere some dot come up. So you can see, right, which group the total requests come up. So you can take a lot of decision like this, right? If this group is not we don't have so much requests come in this group, so we don't want a lot of resources to be used, or we use less RAM, less CPU, or we can ask my marketing team why we don't have a lot of requests come in this LW chat application, right? Are you not properly marketing this particular product? Maybe. So a lot of business decision also we can take, right? So this is not a, guys, today is not a main cloud watch topic. We have a exclusive discussion on the cloud watch in my upcoming classes, but I just wanted to tell you. They also show you the quick graph here, the whatever the metrics you selected. Okay. But but main thing is, in the cloud we have a program that is keep on monitoring, or they keep on watching what is happening in the cloud. And one of the things they keep on monitoring is the metrics. Okay, and they know about at what point in time, or maybe current point in time, on the real time, the total number of resources consumed. Okay, that's what, guys, CloudWatch is doing for us. So almost you'll see CloudWatch, but CloudWatch log or Cloud log is a different concept. Right, what is logs we will discuss in my CloudWatch topic. Okay, so now this information is enough to start one of the main topic for today, is called auto scaling group. So what is auto scaling group, right? To understand the auto scaling group, okay, the main topic, guys, for today is auto scaling group, ESG. So what is auto scaling group? So before, guys, I'll start the auto scaling group again, I just want to reference this topic with my application load balancer, because somehow very much related. So what is application load balancer? You guys know, or maybe any other, maybe ELB I'm talking about. What is elastic load balancer, you guys know. Okay, so what you know, guys, about application load balancer, right? It is something like this. What we do normally, we create one load balancer, that's called ELB. Okay, and behind the load balancer, we launch one instance from some EMI, and this instance, let's say, would be our web server. Okay, and why we launch behind the load balancer? You guys know, so anybody from the internet, if they hit to my load balancer, they will connect to this guy, And why we use elastic load balancer, right? Because maybe in the future, if the load increase, okay, we will launch one more instance of the same from the same AMI with the same copy, and we will register this guy to the same elastic load balancer and ask them to do a load balancing for us. Okay, and again load increase, we launch one more the same AMI and ask this guy to balance the load. Okay, by chance, if you keep on launching from one, you launch second one, you launch third one. So technically, it is called scaling, and the full form is scale out, and it's also known as horizontal scaling. Okay, so if you keep on increasing, uh, if you keep on launching one computer, then one more computer is called scale out. Okay, but okay, in this complete setup, and this guys practical we already did in my ELB class. Either you CLB, ELB, NLB. Okay, this is the core concept of any of the load balance. Okay, now in this topic, if you see here, why have you if you just concentrate on this particular line, why you launch second instance. Okay, the main reason you launch second instance here, because we see a lot of traffic come in IP1, and IP1 is not able to handle all the traffic. The point is, guys, how you come to know in IP1 in IP1 the lot of traffic is coming, how you come to know. Okay. And obviously, guys, for to know this, somebody from my IT team or one of the admin of my IT team or the guy who managing the server, they keep on logging to this instance, logging to this instance, continuous every minute, every hour. Okay, but obviously with SSH login, and they run some of the OS respective command, maybe free command to see the RAM, or some of the top command to see the CPU utilization, or maybe lots of NP state or the VM state, a lot of command available in the Linux or maybe in Windows to see the current status about the total resources used, or maybe IO state, or there's a lot of states command available in your OS. So admin has to keep on checking, or maybe they use some kind of network command to see the total number of network bandwidth being consumed. And after a certain time, admin come to know that now this point in time, this web server has a CPU utilization above 80%. Okay, and from last 10 minutes it is about 80%, and because the CPU use more than 80%, so this makes my application slow, and application becomes slow, the entire connection or the services to the final client become slow. So admin decide, let's do, because it means this might be time the marketing done by our marketing team maybe go viral, and a lot of guys that keep is connected to my application to for some online visiting or online transaction. Okay, so this time admin decide, let's go and contact to EC2 service, launch one more instance, and this instance, guys, just go and register to ELB. So fewer new client will hit to IP2, so load will be balanced. Okay, so technically if you see this complete discussion here, right, admin is has to manually keep on monitoring this application. Okay, and now this will be their decision, decision on based of this, why they want to launch new one more computer here, technically why they want to scale out. Because of CPU, because of memory, because of network storage, that will be their decision why they want to scale out. So normally admin has their IT team, the admin team, they have a pre tested all the metrics, and they come to know whenever this is the one of the application. Okay, if the network goes about 80% utilization, RAM go about 90% utilization, that would be very much okay, I think might work properly, because there's some other concept of virtual memory or swapping, maybe these are two different concepts. But if the CPU go above 80%, then my system goes down. Okay, so it again, guys, is depend upon application. So performance team has a proper analysis on the application by multiple tools available in the market. So admin decide. Now my duty is admin of this these guys or these guys. When CPU goes above 80%, in that case I want to do scale out to balance the load. I don't want my application will provide a bad performance. Okay, but this complete process, if you see here, is purely look like manual. Yeah, one of the things you can do here is is you can ask admin, don't log in via SSS again and again and check the things, because this instance is EC2. So what can you do? What can you do? You can ask to one of the service called CloudWatch. CloudWatch is already there available in the AWS cloud. So you just keep on checking the CloudWatch page and portal. Just keep on monitoring the metrics of this instance from the CloudWatch, whatever metrics you are interested on, maybe on CPU utilization. Okay, but as soon as as soon as you will see there, maybe in the graph it go about 80%, so you can scale out, or maybe you can just keep on checking. If it is 80% for last 10 minutes, then scale out. That would be your choice. But technically for doing the scale out, okay, either they monitor with SSH or with CloudWatch, or there's some more powerful tool available. One of my favorite tool that is almost all the company use in the market, I've worked a lot, it's called Splunk. So any other tool you use, right, they have to manually do the scale out. Okay, so that's what, guys, I don't want here. I want this manual part, especially scaling part, to be automated. Okay, and what I want, instead my admin or my team monitor this application. Obviously we have to monitor, because without monitor, how you decide this guy has having a load? So I want, instead my admin monitor, okay, I want some program, because if you want to go for automation, you always need a program. So I want some program to be configured. Again, I ask this program to keep on monitoring this guy, this particular instance. Okay, but guys, again, because we already have a program, this called CloudWatch, they are monitoring. So I don't want to create one more program. But so what can I do? I can create one more extra program that work on the top of CloudWatch. On the top of CloudWatch. Okay, and what this program will do, this program is keep on monitoring the CloudWatch. Okay, and CloudWatch for what? This instance. And duty of this program is keep on checking only the information or the metrics of this instance. For the CPU, for the memory, whatever guys decision you want to take. And what they find, okay, we'll tell this program, whenever this instance is to having IP1, if you see the load is about 80% for the CPU from last 5 minutes, maybe suddenly spike we have, but if you continuously see 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it means the client is continue connected and a lot of client is coming maybe. So if you see this, in your monitoring, if you see this information, okay, then I want you will take some decision. And the decision is, okay, that you will take this decision. The decision is, right, go to the EC2 service, okay, and ask them to launch one more copy of the same AMI. So I will provide you the AMI information. Okay, your duty is to just go and launch you launch one more instance of this guy and ask this guy to register under this ELB. That's what, guys, I want. Okay, so technically, if you see, this particular program has only one responsibility. The responsibility is, okay, whatever the information we ask them to monitor, they will monitor, but they're not actually directly monitor. They will take the help behind the scene of CloudWatch, and I can say they will retrieve the information from the CloudWatch. And and this program, if they see this kind of utilization, right, then this program I can use the one called trigger. This program trigger. And when they trigger, whatever the, guys we have defined in this program, will say, whenever you trigger, your duty is to go and and launch this instance. Okay, and after launch, after we launch, you just please go and register to the ELB. Okay, now again, after you launch two instances, one or two, now keep on monitoring both the guys. Okay, if you see both the guys in totality consume more than 80%, okay, on average, again go and launch third one. So keep on doing. Okay, so launch third one, fourth one, fifth one, keep on doing. Technically intention is I don't want my admin keep on monitoring, because if you hand over this part to human being, they might miss or we can't monitor 24 hours, right? Maybe. So I want some programmers keep on doing. Intention is we have an application running in our EC2 instances under ELB. We don't know this application whenever they goes viral. Whenever they goes viral, we don't know, right? So I don't want to lose my client. If more and more client is coming, that's very nice, right? It's not a big thing. It's not an issue actually. It's a good for the company. There's a lot of client is coming, but if client is coming and we don't have any EC2 instances, okay, so it will be a big loss for the company in all the form. Okay, so here I want some automation program, all right, who will automatically scale my instances. Okay, and guys, this program is called auto scaling program. So auto scaling has a program that will do this part. So this program is actually auto scaling program. Okay, auto scaling program. Now, only thing it is but obvious in the auto scaling program or this program that you have to do. All right, you tell the program, okay, what to do. So we'll tell my program that I am giving you some setup. Okay, or I can use one term here, I'm giving you one template, because initially this OS I launch. So I know which security group I use, which AMI I use, which key I use, which port number I enabled. Okay, the total storage we have created, which instance type we use. Okay, so initially I configure this guy. So I know uh, the resources that I used in this instance. But in the future, and I'm not going to launch as a human being or as an admin, I'm not going to launch this instance. So because you have to launch it. For launch, I am giving you a template. In the template, I will provide this information over here. Over here. So whenever you trigger yourself, right? You will go and use this template, and this template will guide you. Okay, how to which kind of configuration we need in this instance, which AMI to use, which key to use, because I want to have identical copy, right? Because both the system will be same web server with the same key, security group, other things also. Okay, so technically in the auto scaling, we have to provide a launch template. Okay, so guys, there's one term in the auto scaling world, it's called launch template. So technically in the launch template, it is just like configuring the EC2 instance, but this launch template is a template that we have to provide to auto scaling. Okay, but the entire topic is known as auto scaling group, ASG. Okay, so this entire topic or product name or service name called auto scaling group, but it is helping you to create to create a auto scaling part. Okay, so let me guys go for the demo. You will some more concept come up, I will explain you there. So if you go inside the EC2 instances, okay, and if you see right now in the Mumbai, I don't have any instance running, zero instance running here. Okay, and if you go in the left side, you can see a load balancer. Okay, and you can see one more topic called auto scaling. Okay, and there's two things, auto scaling group and launch configuration. So if you want to create a auto scaling setup, means you want to create a program, this program, who keep on retrieving the information from the CloudWatch. Okay, and whenever whatever the way you create your, there's one word called action here, what action you planned. Your action is here is if your CPU go about 80% for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, so you have to take some action. If this happened, an action is you have to trigger something. What to trigger? You have to trigger a launch template that will launch a OS for you. Okay, so in the auto scaling group, we have to provide this. So there's an option called auto scaling group create, and here they, if you ask, they only asking you one main thing is called auto scaling template. Okay, so they say I will launch a OS for you, but can you provide me from the launch template? You don't, I don't have any launch template here. Okay, can you provide me which AMI you want to use, which instance type, key pair, security group you want to use? So guys, this is exactly same thing. And same thing that is that you manually do in EC2 services. So in the EC2 service, guys, this is the same thing we do manually, but I want somebody on my behalf will do for us. So we have to just provide a template uh, for this instance to launch so that they can scale out whenever this thing trigger. Okay, and one more thing I just want to tell you guys, in a little bit in the older Amazon, right, this launch template is known as launch configuration. So technically launch configuration and the launch template is the same thing, but older name is called launch configuration and new name is called launch template. Okay, but now Amazon is recommending okay, whenever any new feature add in the auto scaling concept, they won't add in the launch configuration tab. Okay, you have to use launch template. Even though there's some more feature that is only available in the launch template, they don't provide you in the launch configuration. Otherwise both the things are same. Okay, but maybe after some time they might remove the launch configuration from here. So the new name for this guy, and where, and the tab over there where they add all the newer feature would be in launch template. Okay, so just want to update. So anybody who by chance know launch configuration, you can think it is same like a launch template, but launch template will have some more feature, and in the future we want to use only in launch template only. So what I'm doing here, I have to first create a launch template, and for this I'm just creating cancel here. And again there's option here, it's called launch configuration. Again the name is called launch configuration, but technically it is a launch template. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to create a launch configuration, even though I'm not going to create from here. Let me go to my auto scaling group. From here I'm guys going to create a launch template. So there's option here, because you want to use this, I'm going to create a launch template from here. Okay, so what is launch template? Nothing. Whatever you do manually for launching the instances. Okay, same thing, I'm just creating the template. You can think like a one small reference uh, declaration I'm doing here, that if you want to use what you have to do here in the future. Okay, so I'm just giving a template a name, let's say my EC2 launch template. Okay, um, template version. And guys, one more thing that launch template has that launch configuration doesn't have. Technically they are same, but they don't have. In the template we can create a multiple versions. So guys, if you know versioning, so we can create a multiple version, because we keep on changing the things. So we can get a version 1, version 2, version 3. So in the future, any of the version you want to use, you can use. Okay, so there's one of the extra thing that launch template will provide extra, that launch configuration doesn't provide to you. Okay, so let me give the template version, let's say version 1. Okay, version 1 description. And so here, tags you want to add, right? Any other template you want to use, I don't want to use. So let me put the content of this template. So I want, if anybody use this template, they use this AMI. Okay, so let me use the AMI that is um, created by us. So I'm using my own AMI. This one. Okay, one minute. So this is one of the AMI guys we had created. One minute. My AMI. One minute. One minute. What's the name? So this is the AMI I had created. Okay. So I want and this template use. I want this AMI that is created by us, or maybe you can use any other AMI. Okay. Instance type. I want T2 micro to be used. Okay. Which key you want to use while launching this instance? Maybe you don't want to use the key or want to use the key. That will be your choice. Okay. And which VPC you want to add? Okay. Security group. Which security group you want to attach with? Okay. So let me use a security group called maybe some of the security group we had created, or you can create. So let me very quickly guys create a one security group, because my plan is to so here also guys, from the issue to portal, there's an option called security group. You can add, because my plan is to launch the Apache web server. Okay, so I'm going to create a security group, my web security group. Okay, and allowing in my rule, I'm allowing all, let's say I'm allowing all the traffic to make it straightforward. Otherwise you know how to what's the use of the security group. HTTP allow. Okay. So this security group I'm going to use there. Let me reload, and this my web security group come up. Okay. Storage volume, you want to add extra EBS, you want to add a tag. Very great practice guys to add a tag in some other automation world. If you use cloud formation, if you use Terraform, Ansible, this tag is very much important, right? So right now this might not be so much useful, but it is very useful, right? So I'm giving the tab called web OS from auto scaling. Okay. So resource type is, this is one of the instance we are launching. Okay. Network card, you want to add some extra. So they say they know interface is currently available in template. So I'm going to add one interface. Okay. So one network card that is called ANI. Okay. So they launch one AMI, one AMI, right? For us. One minute. I think they should automatically remove add, right? Or an advanced detail. That's we don't require right now. Okay. So that's all guys, let me launch. Okay, so finally your template has been created. It's just a template created guys. Okay, this template has been created. You want to see the template, this template has been created. And this is the version of one. But if you keep on adding something in the template, they keep on changing the versions. Guys, so by default they do the versioning. That is very nice thing. Okay, so this template has been created. Okay, and now where we have to use a template. So we have to use this template in the auto scaling group. Okay, so we'll create a auto scaling and say use this template, okay, to launching this OS. So let me go to my auto scaling page. There's option called create auto scaling. Let me give the name called my auto scaling group for web. Okay, and I'm going to use a template. That's a template we had created already. Okay, and guys, because we are using template, so they give you versions, which version you want to use. Because my template I had only created, updated only once, only one version we have, but your team is keep on changing the template version 2 automatically created, version 3 created. So maybe version 3 you are using, or maybe you do some more change in version 4 come up, but some issue happen in the version 4, so you can go back and use other version of the template. So anybody who know versioning, so same concept whatever we apply in the versioning, it is provided in template, but this concept is not available in the launch configuration. Okay, so like this there's a lot of new changes come in the launch template that is not available in the older version of launch configuration. Okay, so this particular template guys I'm using here. Okay, and so they load this template whatever the configuration we did. So what is mean by template again? So I'm asking my auto scaling group program and say whenever anybody ask you to do something, okay, use this launch template to launch the AMI. Okay, that's what we are doing here. Next. Okay, um, here they're talking about some purchase options, so we don't go for this. Here they're asking you which VPC you want to use this template for. So I am using a default VPC. Which subnet you want to use? So I'm not sure again in subnet, so they will auto pick the subnet for us. So so template is just a template we created, but this template will launch the instance which VPC you want to use. That is but obvious, right? Because we always launch a EC2 in some of the VPC. Okay. This is one thing. Or you can select, for example, if I select this subnet, you can select multiple subnet also. Okay. So you want your EC2 instance will do auto scaling for you. Sorry, auto scaling will do auto scaling for you. So one of the instance they launch in 1A, 1B, you can also select this. You can restrict this part also. Okay. If you don't select, they automatic pick any of the subnet here. Okay. I think it is compulsory to add, but normally they automatically select. That's okay. So I'll select this two subnet. So auto scaling will launch instance for you automatically, where only in 1A or only in 1B. So we are restricting this guy to launch in any of the two subnets. Next. Now here they're asking you here, do you want to use load balancer? Even though guys, these you can do auto scaling without load balancer also. Okay, so one instance I launch, one computer I launch, I want to launch one more copy of this. I want to launch one more copy of this. Okay, so we can do it also without load balancer. Okay, there might be some use case for this where you can use one of the use case. Maybe this is the one of the instance. Okay, who is doing some, who may be one of the somebody's worker node, a slave node. Okay, so if you guys know Kubernetes, or of if you know Hadoop, MapReduce or Spark cluster. Okay, so slave node and worker node are the one who will do something for you. So if more work come up, so one of the worker node might not able to do much. So we launch one more worker node, one more slave node. Guys, these are the independent unit. They always connect to their personal master. They don't need any load balancers. So when there's a worker node come up, this guy connect to master node of Kubernetes, master node of Hadoop, master node of Spark, any of the clustering technology, whatever you use. So you can, they will connect to those guys, whatever we have configured there. So in this context, guys, this is one of the great use case where we don't need any load balancer. So A is running, load increase in this guy, we launch one more, load increase this guy, we launch one more worker nodes or the slave nodes. How? With the templates. Okay, so this is one of the great example we use a lot in this environment of other clustering technologies. Okay, there we don't use load balancer, guys. Very limited guys. No, actually very simple concept, but very limited guys normally relate this concept with this kind of great use cases. But it's one great use case where we don't want load balancer. But according to my current explanation here in this web server, Okay, so in the web server guys example, obviously we need a load balancer. Okay, because this is a server and I want my client will come via load balancer. So do you want to attach to existing load balancer or create a new one? Okay. And if you go for existing load balancer, which one you want to use, ALB, NLB, or a classic? Okay, so which load balancer you want to use? And obviously guys, if you go for ALB and network load balancer, you have to attach this guy to some target groups. So what a target group you guys know. So we have to put this guy either in this target group or in this target group. Okay, so all the thing guys, whatever you do in the load balancing, we can go here. And what is your target group, you guys know. So behind the target group, we create a route, right? LW chat and LW search. This part we discussed. To make this practical a little bit simpler, what I'm going to do, I'm putting behind the classic load balancer because there's no target for this. So any of the instance we connect will be routed by this guy. Okay, so I'm putting this load balancer. I already have this load balancer. If you don't have, you can go and correct, or you can create from here. So they will create a load balancer for you. Okay, so if you create a new attach a new load balancer, they will ask you how to create a load balancer. So I don't want to invest this time again. So I'm going to use a load balancer that is already created by us in the last classes. Let's go CLB. Okay. So I explain you this concept. Health checks you guys know, because using the load balancer you can do the health checks. Okay, some additional information, right, for for other things. Okay. So guys, in the CloudWatch, we'll talk about more about CloudWatch. So CloudWatch has capability to capture more traffics or more metrics. Normally they come with additional price. So we'll discuss guys in my CloudWatch. We don't require right now. Click next. Now guys, this concept is about scaling. What I mean by this, right? So technically, you start with let's say initially let's say you launch one instance. Launch one instance, and you'll tell your auto scaling. Okay, whenever the load increase above 80% of CPU, launch one more IP2. Again, just keep on monitoring both the guys. Again, both the guys load increase about 80%, launch one more, then launch one more. Keep on doing. Okay, but obviously, guys, there should be limit. Amazon perspective, there should no limit, but it's good practice, guys, to always limit this guy, because maybe there might possibility in your application some hackers may be hitting your application, or some kind of DOS attack is happening, or dynamic distributed denial of service attack is happening, distributed. So in this case, the load increase and keep on launching one, and finally, maybe hackers start attack at night. And what do you see? If you see in the morning, when you see, you will have millions of instances start up. So technique finally it gonna cost you. Okay, so this is one of the use case where we always has to limit that after 4, after 10, after 20, depending upon company and application. After, let's say, after 10, I don't want to launch more. Even though if load increase after 10, I don't want to launch more. So in the terms of management of cost, right, maybe one of the reason, there are some other reason also for performance also, because behind the load balancer, if you launch more, okay, so they might be after certain time, certain size, it will start degrading the performance. So this might be one of the other reason, right? So we have to always give a maximum limit. Okay, so that's what guys talking about. What is the maximum capacity you want to launch? Let's say 10. Okay, so so I will start from 1, then 2, then 3, and 4. It's called scale out. But when they increase, or when they scale out, when the load increase. So guys, it is but obvious you will launch, for example, 4, because your load increase. But maybe load is not for 24 hours, right? Maybe after 1 hour, 2 hour, you will your cloud watch see, and from where the auto scale scaling group see. Now we don't have so much load, So what they do, they start. Obviously, we don't need this system because there is no load. Obviously, to save the cost, it's good practice to shut down the systems. Again, we can see all the three system is managing the load. Even though we don't have so much load, so we again shut down the system. Okay. So technically, my program also has a capability. If we don't have the load, they can check, and if they find they don't have a load, they can shrink it down. So technically, I guess this concept is called scale out. Sorry, scale in. So we can do scale in if we don't need this. And again, everything is automated. Okay. So what is the minimum but? Okay. So maybe in your requirement, you want at least two computer always run for you, minimum. Okay. And from the two, they go to 10. And if you know requirement, they again come back to two. Okay. So this guy's minimum capacity we want. It's a minimum two always we want. Okay. So this one thing. What is desire? I will explain you, but let me use the desire number three here. What is desired capacity? I will explain you in some minute. Okay. But desire should be within the limit range. That's what we did. So what is desired? We'll discuss. Okay. And uh, target tracking scaling policy. Okay. Okay. Here we can check the metrics types. Okay. Let me use none. One minute. One minute. uh, Previous slide. So here, guys, we will write scaling policies. Okay. Scaling policy means we are going to scale the system dynamically when something come in demand. So can you please provide the scaling policy, when to increase, when to decrease? So I can write here my CPU utilization. So these are the guys options we have. Okay. So for example, let one of the example is CPU utilization. So if my CPU utilization go over or above 50%, then I would have to increase my instance. Or maybe your metric may be auto scaling request count per tag, because I use auto scaling here. Load balancer here. So if my load balancer in this particular group, because there's no application load balancer using right now, but let me use network in. So my traffic about this much byte come in, I will to increase. So whatever policy you want to add, you can add over here. Okay, so this is a scaling policy you can define. We can write some more customer policy, how we will discuss, right? But this is the one of the thing from here you can, this part I'm talking about. So this is scaling policy you can write here. Okay, so let me go for example, let's say average network traffic in bytes, 50 bytes, very obviously very less. Okay, but if it's go above 50 bytes, it will automate scale the instance for you. Okay, click next. So there's one concept called SNS. So SNS is one more service, guys. They will send a notification in your email. In maybe they support SMS also in some of the region. Okay. So what SNS I will discuss in my upcoming classes. We can also add. So as soon as instance scale up, means scale not up, scale out or scale in. Okay, you will start getting the mail or as SMS. So your admin team can put the email ID or the SMS mobile text number, or maybe some other way also. And a lot of other things also we can do from SNS, we'll discuss, right? So there you will start getting notifications. Okay, I'm not doing anything in the notification, but after we discuss SNS topic, we can add in the future also. Next. Okay, this is just tag you want to add to auto scaling group. So that's all. Okay, so guys, this is the final auto scaling group has been created. Okay, and now what you will see when you create an auto scaling group. Right now I'm in the Mumbai. In the Mumbai, if you see in the EC2 instances, there's no instances running. Okay, So when you create auto scaling group, okay, so they are creating auto scaling group for you. So in a minute, what you will see. Okay, so if you see guys here, uh, 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 right now in your auto scaling group, because we are using this template, so they know how to launch the OS. Okay, they know how to launch the OS. Okay, so technically, right now if you see there's the zero instance here, but what you will see after a certain time, in some time, what you will see, there's three instances they launch. And if you go to EC2 portal, I told show you guys there's no instance was there, but you see guys automate three instance with this name automatic launch. Okay, and all these three instances behind the scene is connected to the load balancer. Which one? Classic load balancer. So if you go to this classic load balancer, and if you see the detail of classic load balancer, you see three instance automatic registered with this guy in service. Or because guys, this is a load balancer. So if you see the IP of this guy, okay, you can see what are the port number. I think my elastic load balancer has a port 8080, I believe, is working great. Okay, so 128 connected. Let me refresh. 19 is connected. 120, 115. Three instance has been connected. But why three? Okay, guys. Normally in this auto world, even though same concept, guys, will I will cover also one more time in my Kubernetes classes if you are there. So in the Kubernetes, same thing we can do with pod also, pods. But what is happening? I'm telling my auto scaling group that my need is initially my need is always after I analyze my entire infrastructure, my application, I think I always has a need of three. Okay, so three is the need that I always require. Okay, so technically my desire is always three. There's a total number of desire. So what do you mean by desire here? Desire means if by chance if any of the instance goes down, okay, and maybe corrupted, guys, normally till date if you only see a load balancer, if one of the backend server goes down, load balancer guys never gonna help you. The good thing about a load balancer is if one of the system goes down, they will deregister and start sending the then sending the packet to this guy. But load balancer guys doesn't help you to heal this guy or doesn't help you to do some action. But with the help of auto scaling group, auto scaling group, what you will see, as soon as one of the computer goes down due to any of the reason, auto scaling group, because we tell this guy we have a desire of three, means I always want three to be up. So as one of the system goes down or maybe got corrupt, okay, auto scaling group automatically launch one more computer and register with this guy. So that is guys meaning of the desire here. So if you see guys here, the the desired capacity what we put there is 3. Guys, by since you see is 10, it's 10. You know why this you see the 10 here? Because my auto scaling group triggered. Right, you know why they triggered? Because in my auto scaling group, my auto scaling group, I write this rule: just keep on monitoring my network packet, and if the network packet goes more than 50 bytes, launch one. Again 50 byte, launch one. Again 50 byte, launch more. And 50 guys is very less, even though when I access my instance, it is more than 50 bytes. So they see a lot of traffic, so they think there's a lot of huge load, so they launch total 10 computer. Okay, and guys, this is not done by me. Technically, if you see here, okay, if I refresh my load balancer behind the scene. They launched 10. And guys, now we see here, after 10 guys, they start removing, or they removing maybe after some time, we'll see, but 1 minute. So you see guys, 10 instances they launch. If I see all the running, 10 instances they launch, and somebody they are initializing, and after initializing they will connect behind the load balancer. Okay, so technically this package also show you that auto scaling is also working for us. Okay, so now total 10 instances come up. Okay, but they won't go more than 10, even though if you increase my more load in network or maybe CPU. Okay, now if you see guys, lots of guys, different IP address here, 10 different systems connected behind the scene automatically. But after certain time guys, if you don't send any network traffic, okay, you see automatic they shrink down this call screen into 9, 8, minimum they go till 2. Okay, so that's what they are doing here. Even though if you see in activity tab also, there is no SNS. But if you see guys the history, and guys here they're talking about what they're doing. So they're talking about with the increasing campaign from 3 to 10. So there's a log, or you can think about auto scaling group. They say we are increasing your instances uh, because somebody triggered the policy. Okay, and guys, this is one word called alarm. I will talk alarm more in detail in my CloudWatch. But somebody create an alarm means to ask your program and update your program that your network performance goes above this much resources. So, so your program triggered, and because they triggered, I am increasing your instance from 3 to 10. Why 3 to 10? Because suddenly we get a lot of traffic. Because my rule was very small, 550 bytes. So obviously we transfer more than 50 bytes. So from here you can see they are showing you the status over here. Okay. Plus, if you go to automatic scaling, okay, here you can just go in. If you want to edit this rule, you can go and edit. Okay. So if you want to this particular rule, if you want to click and edit, you can edit. So now we can say if my traffic goes above this much byte, then only launch more instances. Okay, or maybe can you add multiple policies also. Okay, so if you can add more policies here, and I want when this go above this one and this CPU increase, so some kind of and rule also you can add. So multiple policies you can write. So all the metric match, then they do the actions. There's some question called added schedule action also, guys. We will discuss in my upcoming discussion. If you go for instance management, you see 10 instance guys running, and all the guys running from the version 1, because that's what we used here. Okay, but you see guys, after certain time, if I don't send a network traffic, you will see that automatically goes down. Okay, and this is the guys graph they show you. And again, this graph coming from CloudWatch, the total number of system they launch, guys, because this is the right now we have just launched. CloudWatch takes some time to get the data and then start the populating data here. And so at a certain time, you will see a lot of graph is created here from the CloudWatch. Okay, instance refresh we will discuss, guys, in my some other discussions, right? So if you see guys here, after certain time, random 10, but after certain some minute, you will see, because we are not sending any traffic here. Okay, so you will see automatic they goes down. But what I'm doing right now, if you see guys, it's total 10. Let me manually go and remove 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 instance, guys, I am manually deleting or terminating. And this instance automatically launched, guys. We haven't launched. So 4 instance, guys, I manually terminated. And if you see, guys, they are terminating on this much left. So if you go again to your auto scaling group, okay, it takes some time to get the information. So what I'm trying to show you here, in a minute I'll show you. So if you see the total instance in the dashboard, so 6 is there, right? 6 is running. Only 6 is running. So what I'm trying to show you here is, one minute. So guys, they also come up that they only 9 is there. Okay. Now if you see guys 11, all right, again 10. So what is the meaning of this term? Let me again go back to this screen. Again go to my dashboard. Okay, a dashboard, and 6, what I'm talking about, 1 minute. Just 1 minute please. uh, Normally takes some minute, right, to check, because they are checking the traffic also. So what I'm talking about, because your desired capacity is 10. Okay. So if you delete some of the instances, right, behind the scene, they will again launch for you. Again they launch for you. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to show you. So I remove some of the instance, but after certain time you will see automatic they launch 4 more. If you see guys here, I remove 4, and now they launch 2 more, and 2 more they launch in a minute. So because your desired is 10, desired 10. So they give you guarantee. You can think desire is like this is my desire capacity. I always want 10. And why they reach to 10? Because of my maximum capacity. I set up a maximum capacity to 10, right? So because my load is increasing, initially you can think as initial initial my desire is 3. So when you launch auto scaling, they will launch 3 for you. But load increase, they launch 4, then 5. Your desires keep on changing. But maximum desire that you can go is 10. So that's what we're doing. But after certain time, you will see your desire become lesser, 9, 8. But minimum desire that you have to always use is minimum. This is called 2. But at this point in time, because right now my desire reached to 10. Okay. And this point in time, if you have facing any issue, or and one of the instance goes down, okay, or because your desire 10, so autoscan group will give you a surety that I will automatically launch one more instance for you. So see the line they also launch, and they're also launching behind the scene one more. So that is the meaning of the desire. So they give you guarantee, they keep on running this much instances for you. And you can see the activity tab right here. They give you entire history. So they increase the capacity from 8 to 10 because somebody is terminated, stop. So they've seen, right, some of the instance goes down, some of the instance goes down. They've seen this, and because they've seen it, so they are doing something, and they're increasing capacity from 8 to 10. So activity history is a great way to check what is happening on the real time. Okay. So guys, lots of information I have given you today about something about CloudWatch. But when you go more deep dive into CloudWatch, especially the alarm part, CloudWatch alarm, okay, you can add some more advanced rule over here. So after explaining guys CloudWatch alarms, I will come back to this topic again, and we will see some more advanced rule. After we have a notification discussion SNS, we can add some other extra stuff also with the notification. Okay, and lots more we can do. But I think you get the idea, core idea of the auto scaling, and all the use cases of the auto scaling, guys, I have explained to you from very basics. Okay. And if you know a load balancer, you can run behind the load balancer. If you don't know anything about the load balancer, that is okay. You can also launch the auto scaling without the load balancer also. So that's all guys for today. That's it. So two main topic we discussed this week, RDS and auto scaling group. Very interesting topic. I just try to show you as much as practical we can do. Okay. So any other guys query if you have, you can ask me. Um, So uh, why did your public IP change to? Because guys, my public IP, I've got, I am because my public IP guys is coming from my broadband, and broadband guys give us a dynamic IP. So every day or every time you restart your modem, it will change. Yes, Abhishek, we have, I think, in our program discussion on real-time streaming, Kinesis services. Okay, I think we have. If we have, definitely we will discuss in very detail. Is Rahul, you can think in this way: if your customer decrease, your auto scaling will decrease the instance. You can think in this way. Obviously, if customer decrease, your number of connections or CPU load decrease. So, but it all depend upon your policy. But yeah, you can think in this way also. Um, any trick to for MongoDB as a part? No, MongoDB Sachin is not a part of RDS. RDS is normally deal with with RDBMS kind of database. MongoDB come MongoDB come in the NoSQL database. So in the AWS they have a different service for MongoDB. One minute. So we search MongoDB. So there's a service called DocumentDB. So these are fully managed services by AWS. So anybody are looking for MongoDB, that's called document-oriented database, come normally in the category of NoSQL. So if you want to create a MongoDB, okay, RDS is not a service. You have to go for a DocumentDB. Again, the concept is again same. You can just go and create a MongoDB cluster. Okay, just provide the login and password, and the way you use the MongoDB, you can use. Okay, so again, RDS is only for RDBMS kind of databases. For the MongoDB, we have a DocumentDB service in the Amazon. So I think Gaurav, I explained you about desired size, minimum size. Desired size is keep on changing on the real time. Okay, as the requests increase, but desired maybe maximum or minimum. That's what we I explained you today. Kalyani, if the minimum capacity is 3 and desire is 4, it means whenever you launch first time, they launch first 4. But your auto scaling services keep on checking, and if you see for certain time you are not getting any proper load, they will change the desired capacity to 3, but they won't go less than 3. Okay, that's the minimum meaning of the minimum capacity and the maximum capacity. Okay. So guys, again I'm discussing describing desire means uh, uh, desire means um, whenever you launch your use your auto scaling group first time, how many instances they launch for you. In my case, I use 3, so they launch 3. But after 3, they will increase or decrease, will vary according to the current load. Because my load increased today, so my desire changed from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. But maximum desire it will go is till 10. For my, if you don't have the load, they can keep on changing the desire, right? But minimum that they go to desire in my case is 2, according to my today's setup. Tirth, how to calculate accurate network byte limit. So it it guys, it all depend upon your current application, and you can say from your historical load. Okay, so whatever application you have some historical record of your network bytes transfer. So from that, normally what is the normal network byte transfer in your application. Or maybe there's some concept called network buffers. So how many network buffer you set. Okay, or there's a concept called um, uh, uh, there's a lot of TCP buffer, network buffer. So guys, there's called tunable parameter in your instance, how much buffer for TCP UDP core networking that you can do. So again, you can connect to performance guys. They will tell you there's a total bytes uh, per per connection, per TCP connection, per socket they support, and that way also you can also plan. So the multiple parameter in the networking to check the total networking limit. Okay, and there's one more concept called bandwidth delay product, BDP. You can also use a concept called BDP. So there's one concept in networking called BDP. In networking, this called um, bandwidth delay product. So there's one concept in the networking that will help you to define your limit. Okay, that you have to use in your computer. Okay, again in some use cases. So it's a big world that all those concepts will taken care by your networking team, performance team. They will update you. This is the server limit, and accordingly you can plan, right? So even though you can use some calculator here, but you should know about your application or your servers also. Okay, network connections, wire, tons of things we have to take care. Okay, so um, yes, guys, there's a lot of music is coming from outside, so I don't know. I can't do anything. Somebody enjoying Sunday, but actually there's a festival week actually in this area. If I insert something in standby database, will update in main DB. No, no, Chirag. Okay. First of all, it is not good practice to update in the standby. You can update. Okay, so it always good practice. Whatever data update, always update in the main, and ask standby or be replica to get update from there. But yeah, if you update anything in standby, they won't update in the active, because this is active standby setup. But there is one more kind of setup available. It's called active active. So if you go for active active setup of the cluster, it means if you update any of the guy, it will update the other one. Okay, that's what guys they're doing. Uh, uh, guys, Karthik Das has asked me is a very interesting question somehow. Does AZ can change the instance type if the load increase? Okay, guys, if you see the change the instance type, it means you're talking about increase the RAM or the CPU. Okay, technically it is called vertical scaling. So auto scaling group can do a vertical scaling for us. So there's guys some trick we can use if you want to do vertical scaling using the auto scaling group. Okay, what trick you can use, maybe guys in my upcoming discussion, right, I will explain you, because I have to use some other product with this or some other concept with this. But yes, Avijit, there is no direct options I believe they have to do the vertical scaling, because if you change the instance type, you are doing the vertical scaling. Okay. So, but yeah, we have some tricks we can use. What is that? I will definitely explain you. So, what is software defined networking AWS? Mohammed, it is not a part of only AWS. If you go to any of the cloud tool, they have a software defined networking, very high level concept of software defined networking. I have explained you in my VPC. You know, at that time I told you in the AWS they launch a router and switches for you using some kind of software program. Okay, that's called software defined networking. Yes, Ajay, we will discuss about NoSQL also. No, Yadvi, yesterday, guys, I told you, okay, when you create a read replica, it takes some time to create because because uh, I'm doing a cross region, so they are transferring the entire uh, uh, copy of my hard disk from Mumbai to Singapore, and it is also vary from size to size, also how much data you have in Mumbai. So that is reason I told you it takes some time to create the read replica if you do a cross region. And how much time it will consume, it depends on how much source data size you have. Okay, but after today, guys, what I show you, after read replica created, first time it takes some time, but after the read replica created, from there only, from there onwards, okay, whenever you do any changes in the source computer, means your primary computer, it will same time they update in the read replica, but that update will be with the help of async. Okay, async is a concept that give you a guarantee that it will replicate, it will create a replica, okay, without impacting the performance of your primary computer. So anybody by chance know, um, normally in the web technology we use a lot. So anybody by chance know a concept called, like in Google, okay, so guys, in the Google, if you want to search something, so if you know, if you type Linux, right, so it automatically giving suggestions here without hitting enter. So behind this application, some JavaScript running, and this JavaScript, guys, is running behind the scene using a async call. So anybody who know Ajax, so Ajax means they keep on sending the request to Google, only that part, and other part of my this page. If you click in this link is working for us. So technically, async is a call, or async is a way through which you give something to your one of the program, and one of the part of that program is handling this request rather than impacting other part of the program. So it's a long topic actually, async. Same concept, guys. I also explain in my Ansible classes. If you guys, one of the video I've shared, they explain you the detailed meaning of async. Okay, so what I'm talking about, somebody asked me, if you go for read replica, they will do the replica in the same time, but in the async fashion. Means they're not impacting the primary computer. Okay, and whenever they get the time, or whenever their thread running or the program running, they get the time. Time means within a millisecond or second, they will start doing the replica for you. Okay, so but it's right now for me harder to explain you the core difference sync or async, but maybe in some of the class, definitely, guys, I will definitely explain you in more detail about sync or async. So guys, there will be a lot of queries. If you just practice, you will see most of the query will be will be done, right? So that's all, guys, for today. See you guys in the next week. Two more important topic we cover this week. Bye, take care, guys. See you.